So, day three. Day three. That's pretty good. It's more than I've done before. Day three. Interesting. Interesting kind of journeying with transmutation and having this sense of transmutation going on in here, but not realizing that it's actually going on out here as well, until a friend lovingly pointed it out. I was like, I did this video yesterday on deaf advocacy, and yet what has that got to do with transmutation? And she's like, you're transmuting people's beliefs, people's ideas, people's perception of what is acceptable, of communication, how to communicate with people. Upon which, on that, I found out last night that school is running some trialling, some sessions whereby they're teaching people how, with subject matter experts, i.e. my daughter and some of the other little girls, or the deaf people, deaf children, they are helping people to upskill their communication styles so that they can communicate better with. It's interesting. It does my head in, because these things like technology, these things like speaking to someone face to face so that they can understand what you're saying, speaking clearly so that people can understand what you're saying, is not just limited to deaf people. The technology in the classroom, they use microphones, as I said yesterday, they use microphones for, within group work. So when they're working as a group, they use a microphone, and the deaf kids can hear. It benefits everyone. It benefits everyone. And yet it's seen as, I'm just supporting the deaf kids, or these things are not as important, because it's important for everyone. Now, if someone's talking to me, or even a mum that I was talking to the other day at school, she was like, when I talk to people, I hold on to them. I'm like, she doesn't hold on there, but, hold on to their elbow. Hey, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, there are these things, that's everyone. That's not just her deaf child, that's everyone that she works with, that she, whatever. There are ways in which we just are now because of having a deaf child, and other people aren't. And so our kids are trying so hard to fit in and be normal and to be able to communicate well. And my child had relatively early on, she had these sessions called Bring a Friend Friday. Mostly happen on Fridays, but bring a friend. And so they'd pick a kid from the class, not deaf, or deaf, whatever, a friend, anyone. My daughter would go through every kid in the class and make sure every kid in the class had a turn to come with her. And so they would go and have this session with a teacher of the deaf, and they would, part of it is being confident enough and speaking clearly and inviting the person that they're inviting to come and do the session with them. And then in the session, it's all around, like, they're playing a game, and the whole premise is that the hearing child will model best practice behaviour, because they're the normal one. And so the deaf kid can learn off the normal kid, right? And the kids love it. Like, they all love it. After a while, it became clear that my kid was the one modeling the best practice behavior, because she's been in it for so long. She's modeling this behavior, to and fro, conversations, turn taking, all this stuff. And there she is modeling best practice behavior to these other kids, to the normal ones. It's interesting. So yeah, there are these things at school that are slowly starting to starting to happen, starting to transmute people's thoughts, beliefs, attitudes in relation to deafness. So transmutation is not just going on here and for my kids, because we're all like very linked. You know, people talk about that we are one. Yes, we all are one. And at the same time, which is very confusing, is that we're all separate. We're all separate and one. And I can't go through this transmutation process and the rest of the family somewhat not, because it doesn't work that way. Our energies, especially my children, are so interlinked, or our children, you know. As a parent, as a mother who has birthed this child, or these children, our energies are very much interlinked. And so they've been journeying with me on that, right? For years, when I turned spiritual, 7 years now, I saw it as there was my family life and then there was my spiritual life, and they were separate. And maybe that was needing to be separate, to, I don't know, get to a certain point or gain enough structure or gain enough energy. I don't know. But it's slowly changed, and my family is very much a part of my process. Very much a part, especially of my intuition process. One of them will say something and it'll just trigger. I'm a mum, right? Everything triggers me. Trigger trauma, trigger past lives, trigger childhood, trigger all the things, right? That's what kids do, is trigger us to help us process what's gone on previously. But what I'm talking about is more along the lines of triggering something that I'm working on, triggering an aha moment. You hear people talking about using their intuition, or being in their intuition and driving along and seeing a billboard and it says, this is your sign. Oh, well, this is my sign. Yeah. That's kind of the vague tip of the iceberg as to what living intuitively is about. Every decision can be made intuitively. I'll be sitting here and I'll be outside and a bird will start squawking and I'll be like, what's interesting? Something will come. Not always, but it's like, just when I stop and have that moment of presence, it's like, oh, something big's gonna happen. Okay, or something big's coming. Or I'm working on this. When I say I'm working on a thing, it's like there's stuff going on. So at the moment, it's the stuff that I'm talking about with you. The transmutation process, and or doing these lives, for example, and then I don't know, the kids will say something and it will be directly related to what I'm working on, and it'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, that's interesting, or that leads to this. Oh, fuck, yeah, of course. Yeah, I feel like I need better ways in which to talk about working with my intuition, because it feels so much deeper than, it feels like a way of life. It feels like I don't see myself as spiritual anymore. I see myself as intuitive because it's just my way of life. Sure, of course, as I guess, with somewhat spiritual people or religious people or whatever, it is at times difficult to be in that all the time, or it's becoming easier and easier to be in it as much as I can. But when you've grown up in the matrix or whatever people call it, it can be tricky to remember to use your intuition for all things instead of just spiritual stuff, or just ascension. And I say ascension, I don't see ascension as like ascension, I see ascension as ascension. Ascension. Anywho, I was listening to a lady online who was just talking about abundance, and she was saying something that just really, I think, fucks us up, and it goes against my process. And so, yeah, felt to talk about it. And that is, she was talking about how we should be grateful. How can we complain? How can we be complaining about having to do washing, or living where we live or whatever, when it wasn't that long ago and people had to do their washing at a creek? And here we are, we're able just to walk in the laundry, shove stuff in the washing machine, press a button, and blah, 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 done, relatively. Like, how can we complain when there are people in third world countries who are dying from starvation, and here we are just allegedly struggling? And how can we complain when our life is already abundant? And it's something I've thought a lot about, because we have that mindset. And it's interesting because in this group that this lady was talking about, talking within, every so often people kind of say, disagree with what's going on, and because it's one of those free Facebook things, which my intuition said I should join, and I intuitively took myself through the process, not necessarily following what they recommend as how to do the process. And people, anytime someone kind of disagrees or says something negative, people instantly jump on and say we should be grateful. These guys are giving us their time for free, except at the end when they give you the spiel, the hard sell. We should be grateful. And it's like, that's great. Grateful never doesn't actually get us anywhere. Bam. Mic drop moment. Grateful, and now I'm gonna gratefulness does not get us anywhere. Gratefulness doesn't get us anywhere. Being grateful, forcing ourselves to be grateful because we should be grateful, does not get us anywhere. Doesn't get us anywhere. Doesn't help us ascend, doesn't help us move to this magical high vibratory place. It is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And it just, funnily enough, talking it through now, makes us feel shame because we don't genuinely feel it. I don't feel genuinely grateful that I get to do washing, that I am not washing at a creek, that I am able to press a button. I hate washing. And on that fact, I remember seeing a celebrity, Australian celebrity, sort of big grade celebrity, a former model, maybe she still does, anyway, not the point, talking about how grateful she is that she gets to do the washing. And I was like, that is crap. I mean, if she genuinely feels like that, who in their right mind is genuinely grateful to do washing? I don't know. It's not me. It is not me. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. When we are forcing ourselves to be grateful, we are not in our true feelings. Do you know what? I should be grateful because I have 3 beautiful children. I have a beautiful husband. I have a really loving, supportive family who are always there no matter what. I have a lovely house. Yes, my daughter is deaf. It's neither here nor there for me. I should be grateful because they're happy, healthy children. I should be grateful. I'm a 43-year-old mother who doesn't work, not in the conventional sense. I'm more into advocacy. I wish some of it paid. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. I should be grateful. I'm relatively happy, healthy. My body works as best that it can, even though it's not fit or healthy, really, I don't think. I don't smoke. I don't really drink that much anymore. Used to, but not 1 glass every blue moon. I'm not addicted to drugs. I'm not addicted to anything else really, except intuitive art. That is one thing I am addicted to. But that supports my process, so that's allowed. But I don't feel grateful. I don't feel like I'm living my best life. I feel like if I tried to fake gratitude and fake the way that... I feel like if I tried to fake it, I would be somewhat stuck in this. It's like I'd be settling for this. And this, while it's fine, doesn't feel like it's enough. And a couple years ago, I started asking myself, probably just before COVID, who am I? Is this it? Is this it? Are they the two? Or there might have been one more. I started, what is my purpose? What's the point? What is the point? They were my three big questions. Who am I? What is the point? What's the other one? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Is this it? And those questions, because I've sat honestly with those questions, or sat honestly with my feelings, I haven't just gone, well, I'll gratitude journal it and she'll be right, mate, and then I'll feel gratitude for the boringness of the day-to-day life of running a household. I'll feel gratitude for doing the washing. I'll feel gratitude for spending ages in the car, going to pick up children to and from school each day. I'll feel gratitude for all of these things. But when we feel gratitude for those things, we miss our true feelings. What are your true, honest, actual feelings? My feelings are that this, while beautiful, this my little lemon tree, or our little lemon tree. This is our beautiful backyard. And then the house, yeah. My honest feelings are that there's got to be more. There has to be more than this. And I feel like a lot of us are in exactly the same boat. We're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. I should feel happy. I should feel content. I've got this life that I'm told that I should want. And yet I'm here and I'm asking myself, is that it? Is this it? Because if this is it, I don't feel content. I don't feel happy. I'm not. And I feel like because of, women that have gone before, that have been like, oh, I just grew to love myself, and I just grew to love the life and so we're getting to this stage and we're like, fuck, I am unfulfilled. I am unfulfilled in this life that I thought that I would, that I've grown up wanting, and I'm here now and I'm unfulfilled. Is this it? Because if it is, fuck. Yeah. And I'm telling you now, journeying with my feelings. So as per a couple of my other videos that my little shorties, on change, on creating change, if you're, because I just sat with my feelings, I didn't gratitude them away, I didn't try and move them and change them and shake them and create something else. I just sat. I honestly just sat in my feelings. As I said in my first video, I was going to say grossly unhappy with the shape of my body. And I could do something, I could gratitude it, I could blah 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 it, but my process is just sitting in my feelings. And I just sat in my feelings, and every time it came up, whether I had something to go to, like last year I had an anniversary party to go to, and I had nothing to wear. It was like a sort of a goth sort of theme, and I had nothing to wear. I used to be gothy, alternative, back in my early teenage years, and so I went to a sort of an oppie shoppy type thing, you know, not a $2 shop, but like a second-hand shop, and I was trying on all these clothes and nothing fit. And I'm like, fuck, I'm getting sizes that I think fit and nothing's fitting. Like, it's frustrating and it's annoying and it's makes me feel like shit. And even my sister invited me to the races, and it was this amazing opportunity, like this day of pampering at the races, and I wanted to go, but I didn't have anything to wear. Like, people have seen me in that before. I actually had nothing to wear because my body's grown larger. And in that, it's like, body's grown larger, taking up more space. That's also interesting. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? And I'm trying on all these dresses at all these different shops, and I'm trying so hard to find something that fits and looks okay and doesn't make me feel like an old woman. And then I finally find this dress, and my boobs kind of feel uncomfortable in it because they don't kind of stay in the top section of it, and there's no bra, like it's not really a bra thing. But it was an uncomfortable process. It was really, really uncomfortable. And I could have gone, fuck me, I'm going to the gym. I'm going on an eating, a diet or a new eating plan, or I'm getting light and easy. I was going to say best and less. But I didn't. I just sat in my feelings. Sorry, I thought an ant was eating my foot. I sat in my feelings. Just sat. I did not change a thing. I did find a dress. And I did find a dress. And it's still uncomfortable. And I'm constantly trying to pull my boobs up to interestingly, I also have a wedding, my cousin's wedding, on the 12th of April. And I'm probably going to wear the dress again because it's the only thing I have that fits. But it's like a full swish wedding. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hair. Anyway. But I'm just going to sit in my feelings of it. Who am I at this swish wedding? Who am I choosing to be? I'm partnering with money to help me create who I feel that I am at this wedding. I know it's not about me, it's about the bride and groom. Do you know what? All of these experiences that I'm having are about me. Who else are they for? Who else are they about? Me. Me. When we're in these experiences, it is about me. I reckon that the extreme influx of people being women, middle-aged people, women just like me, being diagnosed with ADHD. You know, I hear people talking about the symptoms or the signs of ADHD. Fuck, mate, we've all got it. We've all got it. And it's because we've either had childhood trauma or we're at this place where we're going, is this it? Why am I so unhappy? I should be happy. I should be grateful. I should be celebrating this amazing life that I have, but I am unfulfilled. And we're unfulfilled because there is more. We're unfulfilled because there is more. And if we sit in gratitude, if we sit in ADHD medication, granted, obviously there are people who are really needing the medication, but if we're sitting in all of this other stuff instead of our true honest feelings, we are never gonna get there. We will never make it to the what else. If we're sitting in antidepressants, if we're sitting in gratitude journals, if we're sitting in medication, we will not make it to the next human experience. We won't. Or it'll take a really long time, and I didn't come here to do things slowly. Shit changes and moves and creates for me super quickly. That's what I mean, I only started this journey 7 years ago, and here I am talking about transmutation. I'm talking about taking myself on a journey of transmutation with the energy of the Philosopher's Stone to engage in the next human experience. Like, it's been a really steep journey like that to get here, and it will continue. My way, my process, the process that I've been journeying with, that I've been taking myself through, is all about getting there and getting there quickly. When I say getting there, I mean moving to the next human experience, next way of being as a human. And we can only do that through our feelings. We can only do that through our feelings, through feeling our actual feelings. No matter how shameful, no matter how ungrateful, no matter how shit and uncomfortable those feelings might be, that is the only way to move to the next. And you're like, I don't give a fuck. I'll just take my medication and I'll stay in this current experience and whatever. It's up to you, mate. Up to you, my friend. You will see, though. You'll see as I go through this transmutation process what happens. I'm posting every day. It's going to be interesting tomorrow, but I reckon I can do it. Or interesting over the weekend, but I reckon I can do it. Watch and see. See what transmutation actually is. Watch and see what transmutation actually does taking low vibrational energy, that of shame, that of discomfort, that of pain, sitting in it as and I'm kind of having the visual of a black hole, you know. It's like that black hole. And I know I did look at it before. It's like the what happens in relation to a black hole. Like there's low vibratory energy moving to a, yeah, I know, I found it super interesting. I actually can't remember at this moment the ins and outs, the outs of it. But it feels like this is a black hole, you know? It's like the energy is getting faster and faster and faster until there is nothing left but to change. That's what happens when we sit in our energy, when we sit in our feelings, honest feelings, not what we should be feeling. So, like this lady talking about how we should be grateful and we're already abundant and all the things. It's just not going to get us. It can only get you so far. It doesn't get you to the next human experience. Not in the short, not as ASAP. And I mean, this current experience is great, but I don't know about you, I am sick of dealing with shame. I'm sick of shame and guilt being the undercurrent of everything that I am. I'm ready to move on to the next. Yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next.